Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for this new moon occurring on 8/8/2021. So before I get into the reading, I just wanted to mention that the forecasts for each life path number for August are up now on my YouTube channel and on my podcast. So if you haven't checked yours out, head on over and have a listen. Also, this is a general reading, so if you would like a personalized reading, then head on over to my website and book some time with me. I currently am offering the Understanding the Journey numerology energy reading, which you can just ask one question and you'll get a free numerology report alongside of the guidance associated with that question. So fun stuff happening over on my website. I will leave the link in the description box below if you would like to book some time with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this unbelievable energy coming in around this new moon on August 8th. So what's interesting is this new moon is happening directly around the same time as the Lionsgate portal. So the Lionsgate portal is a powerful energetic portal that opens around this time or at this time each and every year. So I'm not going to go into or spend a lot of time into the Lionsgate, but I would suggest if it's something that has piqued your interest, then go ahead and do a search and investigate further. It's definitely beautiful, potent, very strong ascension energy that comes through around this time. So yeah, check it out if that's something that you're interested in to see what that could mean energetically for you. So I encourage you to do that if you choose to. Okay, so again, this new moon is going to be occurring on August 8th, 2021. And it will be illuminating the energies of the 21, the 3, and the 8. So we can feel these influences quite strongly, collectively, a few days prior to the new moon, and then throughout the weeks that lead up to the full moon later this month or later in August. So let's go ahead and get into the numerology. So let's start with the 8 energy. The 8, or the energy of the 8 is heavily focused within the physical plane, okay? So you could see big news coming in around this time around things to do with finances, resources, career, buying or selling, or some kind of influential partnerships coming into your life at this time. 8 energy is so potent when it comes to manifestations, especially when actions that we take assist us in creating that which we wish to see, and when we're actively receiving those gifts from the universe, even if they differ from the initial demands of the ego. And so what I mean by that is gifts from the universe show up for us daily. But if we have sort of tunnel vision about what we want to see, then we can easily ignore these important tools, insights, and roadmaps that are trying to come in for us or that have shown up, but we're just not able to see them because we're too focused or hyper-focused on what it is that we demand to see, if that makes sense. So pay attention to the mindsets at this time, especially throughout August, that are keeping you limited. What are you trying to manifest that could be quite literally sitting right next to you at this moment, waiting to be acknowledged? But because the sort of wrapping looks different than what you've ordered, it can sit there and remain unopened and unused. So be open to receiving whatever shows up for you at this time, and utilize this 8 energy to assist you in making whatever shows up work for you rather than work against you, okay? Or rather than just going unacknowledged. Don't discount something immediately because it didn't show up sort of already at its fullest potential. I think we do that a lot of times, right? It's like something shows up and we're like, well, this is so small. I want something bigger. I want something already that's already blossomed, right? And life doesn't necessarily work that way. Sometimes it does, but usually, we have to put in some effort. We have to, take that little breadcrumb, take whatever that is that's been given to us and mold it into something or create something that is much bigger, that is much more expansive, that is much, much grander than how it showed up, right? We have to assist it in reaching its fullest potential. And that can be an idea. It can be, an actual resource. It can be a relationship, you name it. But it takes us showing up and doing the work and investing time and energy into whatever it is that has shown up for us to help reach it, take it to its fullest potential. So try to figure out how you can work with this to get it there, whatever this is. Again, a relationship, a seed, an idea, insight, whatever, a new career. Okay, that's the power of the 8 energy, is not only manifesting into their reality what it is they wish to see, but working with whatever shows up and creating something grand from it, creating something that will reach its fullest potential because of your input, okay, and your effort. So, for example, if you've been trying to sort of manifest a new job or a big promotion, but what comes in for you looks much less appealing, it could be that you're being gifted with this starting point to create into existence the fullest potential of the offering and to make it your own, right? It's like the universe will give you the starting point, but then the creativity comes through you, right? The magic flows through you to make it into something that is of value for you, okay? That is your own, that has a little piece of you within it, if that makes sense, okay? So you may see things show up for you at this time, and again, if you're not open to receiving them or open to recognizing their potential, again, whatever this is, then you may overlook it and it may sit just idle. So it's up to you what you do with it, okay? Saying no to whatever this is will really only leave you standing in the same spot from where you started, okay? So try to see the potential of the situation and use that potential to choose your next steps. This 8 energy is supporting you to get you started and to, dream big and take big, bold steps towards your goals. 8 energy does not play small, okay? 8 energy is going to, fling the doors open, sashay into a room and demand that all eyes be on that energy, okay? It's very big, expansive, not really forceful energy, but it's very powerful energy. And so it doesn't just sit idle. It wants to get things done. It wants to create. It wants to have an impact of some sort, okay? And so that's the energy that we could be seeing at this time, this very big, bold energy. But if you are in a mindset where you want to remain small or hidden or unseen or don't trust yourself or are not confident in your abilities, that sort of thing, you've got to work through that gunk. You've got to work through those self-defeating thought processes before you can really engage and fully embrace this 8 energy. And it is going to be very potent, very powerful at this time during this illumination and then for the couple weeks that follow. And so definitely pay attention to, where it is that you want to show up in a big way or where it is that you want to take a big leap of faith. But something within is holding you back, right? That inner voice, whatever, it's something within that's holding you back, that's keeping you small. Where is it that you're being asked to reclaim your power, to, put that energy that's sort of has been dismantled and bring it back together, right? So it's like this energy is going to ask you to stand up and stand out at this time, okay? And again, it might not seem like that when it shows up. It might show up in a very sort of small package, but the potential and, what you can create with that little seedling is massive, or has the potential to be massive. This is a very, very successful, goal-oriented energy to work with. So, to the best of your ability, use this energy to your advantage. Okay. So then looking at the 21 energy, when we mix in that 21 energy with the potent 8 energy, we get sort of a double shot of success, luck, and good fortune. Okay, so you may uncover at this time hidden talents that you never knew you had, and then all of a sudden they sort of show up and you're like, oh, I didn't know I was gifted at this, or I didn't know that I could see these things or do these things. So you may see those sort of gifts show up, and it's almost like you're unlocking, I think it's the 9th chakra. And it's not really something that you do to unlock it. It's sort of like we came to this planet with these particular gifts that we want to utilize in this lifetime. And when we're ready, it unlocks itself, I guess, is the way to put it. So it's kind of like you could find at this time that you're unlocking another gift, a new talent, something else to work with. And again, rather than discount whatever that gift is because it hasn't already peaked at its highest potential. I mean, hello, you just discovered it, right? And so take that pressure off. This is going to be a time to explore those talents and figure out, what you can do with them. They are special and unique for you and to you for a reason, especially if they bring you any amount of joy in using them, right? So this is going to be a time to explore, to play, to discover this side of yourself. This 21 energy can also bring about news of extensive travel or even a change in residence, especially if it has to do with work or purpose or something like that. Okay, so just be prepared for that. You could see that things all of a sudden come in quite abruptly that change your direction, and you have to move house, or you have to move to another country or another state or another location. So be open to that, because it feels like it's purpose driven, and it's also embraced with the 8 energy behind it, which means that it's going to be, again, purpose driven, probably work related, something like that, but it's for your highest good. So at this time with this 21 energy, you may feel that pull from within to sort of dust off your wings and feel the wind beneath them once more. So if you get that urge to travel now, do so. Even short distance travel will give you that sense of liberation and freedom that you might be seeking at this time. So honor that desire and that need. 21 energy brings with it a very cosmic influence. So you may find yourself having very detailed, memorable, influential dreams at this time. And intuition can be heightened, and psychic abilities can come online for those who have never experienced or remember they even had access to those gifts in this lifetime. Which, by the way, hint, hint, we all have access to psychic gifts and psychic abilities. That's part of our sort of innate sixth sense. Some people are just more tuned into it and more sensitive to it. But you may find at this time that you unlock that potential to really work with that energy. So again, just be open to it. And that can be a little bit intimidating or scary, when it first happens. And so, just be open to it, be aware of it, and utilize the resources that can help you become comfortable with it and to turn it into something that works for you. Also, 21 energy invites us to sort of tune into the cosmic consciousness that we're all a part of, and to sort of take our seat at the table beyond the mundane illusions of the earthly plane, right? So we came to this planet to share something, to experience something truly unique to us, to each individual. So this new moon is illuminating very powerful energies to assist us in recognizing what that is and how to get started. What are the first steps? What do we need to do to sort of facilitate and get the ball rolling with this? How do we claim that seat at the table of the cosmic consciousness, right? The universal circle. How do we find our space or remember that we have a space there? So the universe won't do this for us, right? It's like we receive the guidance and we choose how we use that guidance, which ultimately allows us to fill in the blanks of the story as we go, right? I am a very firm believer that we wrote a lot of this before we came here. Like our soul knows what it's doing. But I think where, that free will comes in is that we get to fill in the blanks, right? We get to make those choices that help us to get to the destination, but we get to choose what we experience through our choices. And so you may find at this time that there's a few blanks to be filled in and you have to make some choices. So this 21 energy will carry opportunities for expanded consciousness, for just change, and it could be abrupt change, but new ways of taking center stage as opposed to sort of over and outdated systems and control tactics, right? It's like claiming your throne, sitting upon it, while each other person is sitting on their throne and claiming that, right? It's not a hierarchy. So again, pay attention to any travel that comes up for you. Why is that coming up for you at this time? What needs to be explored? What is your soul asking you to do with that travel? Is it something that you can accommodate? If so, do it. It's very much supported. And also, again, this is going to be that energy, especially coupled with 8 energy of well-deserved successes, right? So acknowledge those successes. Bathe in them, pat yourself on the back, take that acknowledgement. Or take those accolades. This is great time for that. Don't overlook opportunities that surface for you, during this time, because this is an incredibly potent time where just some great inspiration, some great ideas can come in for you. And again, you're getting sort of like the seed, and it's going to be what you do with it and how you nurture it and how you water it and how you help it to grow. So then alongside of this 8 and 21 energy, we'll also feel the influences of the mighty 3 as well. So you may find this period to be much more social for you, and you may find your calendar is sort of filling up quickly with social events, right? So if you feel called to get out and mingle, then this can be a great time to network, to make new contacts with people who could assist you down the road, both professionally and or personally, right? So don't judge a book by its cover and pay attention to who enters your life around this time. It's very possible for this to be a very expressive and sort of outwardly creative time for many people. Now, the flip side of that, or sort of the darker side of that creative energy, is if there's any stagnant or repressed creative life force energy that is now bubbling to the surface of the collective, right, we can see this expression come out in sort of more aggressive or forceful ways than we normally would. So just kind of like be aware of that, right? Be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. People may be expressing themselves in a much more aggressive way. So true creativity and self-expression will come from a higher octave of our being, right? Anything else, like that aggressiveness, that sort of manipulation, forcefulness, control, those are all things that are sort of bubbling to the surface and expressing themselves because they want to be acknowledged. They want to be worked through by the lower self. And so that's our responsibility to pay attention to that and to do something about that, right? So pay attention to what bubbles to the surface for you at this time, and pay attention to how you're choosing to express yourself during this time. Okay, that sounds kind of too simple, but that's exactly something that we just need to be aware of, is how are we outwardly expressing our feelings or what's coming up for us, or that creativity, right? Because creation is very powerful energy. That creative life force is very powerful. And when it's been stagnant for a long time and it sort of comes up and erupts like in a volcano, we have to choose how we express that energy, okay? And that's a power that we all have, and we need to be very mindful of that power. So this can be an energy also of getting swept up in a grand way. 3 energy can be very big and, again, very expressive. And so, again, it would be very easy during this time to get sort of swept away in this energy. So if you find yourself living more in excess or overindulging or overspending in sort of larger than life ways, try to find ways to rein that back in a bit and pace yourself. So this is going to be an energy, again, where it's like you just need to pace yourself. You just need to find your own moderation, okay? There is enough to go around, and you have access to it for as long as you need it. There's no need to rush it or to hoard it or, to just, again, overdo it, right? So try to maintain that healthy balance, and you won't need to backtrack or sort of clean up anything later on down the road, okay? So especially when we couple that 3 energy with the 21 and the 8 energy, oh boy, right? Things can get a little out of hand if we're not careful. So just be especially mindful of your emotions at this time. What genuinely needs your attention or discernment? And where have you been over exaggerating something to the point that it's gotten sort of out of control, or it's negatively affecting you, your relationships, or others? Okay. This is a time where creating mountains out of molehills only makes the situation incredibly more challenging for all involved. So try to pay attention to the details and what's actually going on. Start from there. Okay. The ego is a brilliant storyteller, but the ego shouldn't hold the pen. Take back the control of the ego and give it a better job to do. Okay. This is going to be a new moon where, it can be an incredible time for successful new beginnings, for new relationships, for new creativity, as long as we remain an active participant and do our part and find ways to maintain or sort of continue to find our equilibrium and our center as things begin to rapidly expand and grow, okay? Again, this is a very potent time, especially with that 8-8 Lionsgate energy as well. This is just going to be intense for a lot of people, but in a really powerful way. And so again, it's what you will choose to, or how you'll choose to harness that power, how you'll choose to harness and work with all of this glorious, just profound, potent energy. And, there's always extremes, there's always polarities. So there's going to be those people who take that power and use it for something negative or not, or, to manipulate or to take someone else's power away and all those things. We get to choose though, you can either choose to go that route or you can choose to go another route, which is a higher octave that is really harnessing this energy and creating something that really has the potential to take you into just a beautiful energy for the years to come with whatever it is that you build or create at this time from whatever comes in for you. So, this is some fiery energy, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. I think it's going to be really powerful, but I also, like I said, there's also those people who will take it and use it for something more destructive. And so, don't be that person, So use this power in a good way and sort of lead by example and, stay in your lane and all will be well. So, all right, I hope it's a really beautiful new moon for you all. I think it will be. Again, it's just how we harness the energy, but wow, we have a lot to work with, and this could really, really propel us in just a beautiful, beautiful, powerful way. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.